Hey, welcome back. As you guys are popping on, I'll just start to say hello and give you a few minutes to join me. It is Thursday, it is noon in Colorado time, 2 o'clock for those East Coasters that I know sometimes come on and visit. It feels like it's been a really long time since I've done this. And it has only been a week. I think there's been a lot going on this week, a lot that's been taking our focus, a lot of stuff going on in our worlds and our personal lives. That these videos are always a great chance to take a break and to fuel up the tank and to work on our own stuff and to just give ourselves a moment to be like, it doesn't have to be about anything that's going on out there. This just gets to be about me, which is important. So we're fueling up the tank today. The theme of the week was all kind of like a seed planting, throwing out a concept to noodle on that we are enough as we are without having to do more, be more, feel any different. It first popped into my mind because of a judging happiness thing and feeling like we're not doing happiness enough, like we might have to do something better in order to feel adequate about it. No, it doesn't matter how it looks. Whatever happiness level we're at, it's enough right now. So I wanted to start this conversation about not judging how we feel and making sure that we're enough no matter what is going on in our worlds, in our lives, how we're feeling about our current emotional state. But also to carry that a little bit further and to look and see where this not enoughness shows up in our relationships, in our workplaces, how it shows up anytime we're interacting with even our friends and how we might try to give more than may be necessary. It depends on where it's coming from. So as you all are popping on and joining me, I would love to hear from you ways that this may have shown up for you this week. I'll share one of the ways that this has shown up to me in the past has been in the workplace, where at the end of the day, I might be crunching in these extra things on my to-do list because somehow I felt like if I didn't get those extra things done, then I wasn't a good enough employee, that I wasn't contributing enough. And there's a difference between doing your job as it represents who you are, but making it about who you are. If I do all of these extra things, then I can pat myself on the back and feel like I did a good enough job for the day. So it's really the inner approach to how we're taking that. I don't think if we're feeling like we're enough as who we are, then we don't pile on those extra things to get to that realization. We don't have to say, I do the next 10 things and then I can be an okay employee. I've noticed it especially in my relationship that there are times, given what might be going on in my life and the things that I'm working on, that I feel like I'm not giving enough to my partner. I'm not doing enough. There's something that I need to be contributing more. I had a conversation with him about this recently, where he just flat out said, no, you're enough who you are and how this contributes to the relationship. That's the reason that we're in relationship together. I didn't need to do any extra. It doesn't mean that we don't find ways to express that enoughness by giving, contributing. It just means that our worth, our reason for being okay to be here on the planet, isn't wrapped up in anything outside of what we're already presenting right here, right now. I think our culture encourages this restlessness. I think it's difficult for us to be okay just being who we are. And I'd like to throw out that question, when is it okay to be enough just being? Do we start to get uncomfortable with that? At what point do we consider ourselves to be lazy or need to do something else when we're okay just being human beings? Again, I think we're driven to express our enoughness. There's always going to be something that we want, that we have a desire to experience, feel, share, give. But it is an expression of who we are being enough right now. It is not a necessity in order to pat ourselves on the back and say, okay, now you're good enough. I think that we can be enough and still not be done growing. It just means that even in our current imperfections, we are lovable, we're worthy, and we matter right now. We don't owe anyone else any results in order to be good enough. This is the difference in how we wrap up our identity. Is our identity wrapped up in doing things, achieving things, crossing things off our list? Or is it wrapped up in who we are and that being okay as it is? Difference between identity wrapped up in doing versus being. Tia says, I agree. Our culture encourages us to excel, which pushes us to do more and not be satisfied with what is right now. Yeah, that really is pervasive, I think, especially in this go, go, go American culture. If we relate to this continued way of expressing ourselves, yes, there are these things I desire. There are goals. There are things that I want to meet. There are ways that I want to feel and see myself. That's fine. If it comes from, I'm still okay right now, I just want to experience that also, that I think is living. That's being alive. If it comes from, I'm not okay until, this is a little bit our theme last week, I'll be happy when, you are enough now. And if you express that, however that goes, that is an expression of your enoughness. So I'm starting to get a little bit repetitive, but this is a tough concept to really sink our teeth into until it comes up in our own worlds. So I'm really just kind of being repetitive in order to plant this seed pretty deeply so that you can start to see how it shows up in your life. This comes up when I'm coaching clients all the time, but it's not necessarily something that I can pre-coach. It comes up when it comes up. It'll come up in a situation where a client is striving to do this and putting so much pressure on themselves to do a certain thing, to be a certain way. And then we have to stop and check in and make sure that it's the right, healthy expression of who they are now, their enoughness now. One great way to think about this all you are, it's not about what you do, is to think about what you contribute without the to-do list. Who are you as a person that contributes to the people that love you most, to your closest friends, to our family members? What would they say about who you are, what you bring to their lives that isn't about the last few things that you did for them? And if it was about the things that you did, what contribution is the energy that brings? If you did such and such a thing for them, did that bring peace? Did that bring a break to them? Was that your way of showing love and contribution? That can be an expression of your enoughness and who you are. A great way to check this out, if you're not sure how this not enoughness comes up in your life, check in with the people around you that you trust, whose opinions matter in a safe way, not because they fully define who they are, but because you know they're a good mirror for who you really are. Ask them, hey, I was just thinking about ways that I contribute to the world around me and not striking up this to-do list of, this laundry list of things. And I thought, I trust you, and what do I offer to you as a person? Just, don't put yourself down about it. Not like, oh, I don't know what I offer. Or watch that. If that's what comes up, then maybe you're stuck in that not enoughness. Still a great opportunity to ask somebody else that you trust. What is it that I bring to your life? What is it that I bring to your world? It might be things that you're not focusing on or things that you've forgotten. It could be a huge opportunity to feel this whole expansion of, wow, I didn't even realize that I can contribute so much and I have so much value just by my personality, just by being who I am, not in all these things that I do. For anyone that wants to take that on, pop in the comments anytime on my personal page or on my business page, The Alchemy of Happy over on Facebook. What do these people say? What are you learning about yourself and who you are right now that has value, that's a contribution to the world around you just by being you? What is it that's unique about you that maybe nobody else offers? Being enough certainly isn't about sometimes needing help. This isn't about self-sufficiency. In fact, needing help, we all do. Your needs don't make you wrong or undeserving. In fact, it's easier to ask for help when we believe we're already worthy and deserving, that we matter, that there's nothing incomplete about us right now. It makes it a lot easier to reach out and say, hey, I could use a little boost. I need some help. I'm drowning here. Throw me a life vest, something. So I'll throw that out there, that there's a difference between I'm enough and expectations of self-sufficiency. That's a different thing. And you'd never tell somebody else that they don't matter. You'd never say to somebody else, oh, you're not enough being who you are. Why do we say that to ourselves? Even the people that when those judgments come up, that we might think, oh gosh, they're not contributing anything to this society. I'm sure we could all, as lovely people as we are, come up with a million judgments about people that we see quite obviously in our world right now, that we would judge and say, what are you contributing? Well, you know what they do contribute? And this is their enoughness. They give us an opportunity to again express who we are and our enoughness by demonstrating that's not who we want to be, or giving them a helping hand, giving them the loving support to make a shift and to grow and be another expression of their enoughness. There's always an opportunity there, even if someone else, by our judgments, might not be picking up the slack. That's an opportunity for us to contribute, to demonstrate our enoughness. So the charge that I'll put out, ask people what it is about you that they love, that's who you are, just in the ways that you are being in the world, the contribution that you make just by who you are, your personality. There's only so much we can dig into until a specific situation comes up. But I love to plant that seed with you all so you can think of it. When you notice things coming up, drop me a line on Facebook or pop a comment into any of the videos. And if there's anyone that you know in your world that could use a brush up on feeling enough right now, send them my way. This is highly correlated with our happiness. If we can feel like we are enough, who we are right now, then we don't have to perform more, strive for more, do more in order to get our happiness. We can accept ourselves for who we are with all of our imperfections right now. We are enough. You are enough. Great job for those of you who join and keep this in your awareness. This is tools that we can brush up on and work on and keep in the toolbox, keep dragging them out and using them and applying them and deepening that toolbox and adding extra tools to it. This isn't always the main answer for people. Sometimes there is more help that we need. other than just this awareness of these happiness tools and tips. You're still enough, and you deserve to reach out and ask for that deeper bit of help for some people to carry you and mentor you and walk with you a little while on a deeper level. We've all been there. We all need it. And I always like to throw that out there, that these happiness tips don't have to be the be all end all. Sometimes we need a little bit more help than that. And you're still enough. You deserve it. We all do. Happy weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.